Welcome out, everybody. This is Fast Money Futures YouTube channel. You guys are having a great day wherever you guys are tuning in from. Real quick, we're going to get started. We're going to make this a quick, very informative, very brief video. Hopefully you find some value in it. If you do have any questions or comments or concerns, drop them in the comment section below, and I personally will be happy to reach back out to you. Now, if you need help with trading or understanding different things, feel free to reach out as well. I'm also available to assist and help. We have some groups that we can plug you guys into. And without further ado, let's get started. In this session, guys, we're just simply going to go over structure. We're going to show a support, resistance, explain a couple things about how the market moves. We're going to keep it kind of simple, kind of beginnerish. So if you're more advanced, feel free to stick around. You may hear something that you might not have known, might not have heard before, or maybe you have and it's just good for repetitives. But if you're new, this is definitely a video you're going to want to stay to the end. So let's get into it. So when looking at a chart and trying to decide the trade, first things first, we want to know a couple things. We want to know the overall direction of the market. Is the market moving up, or is the market moving down, or is the market consolidating, right? That's the three-way the markets move. The markets either move in a upward movement like we see here, up, like we see here, up, and like we see here, right? From here to here, price moved up. Now we also notice that price moved down in some instances. Price moved down from here to here. Price moved down from this high to this low here. Price also moved a little bit down from here to here, right? So although there is overall, we can agree that the market has been going in an uptrend, we can see the primary trend being up. However, there are secondary trends, which are these pullbacks that we are seeing here, and that we are seeing here, and that we even seen here. So in a uptrend or downtrend, you will have pullbacks in the opposite direction. Those are going to be called secondary trends. So you have a primary trend and a secondary trend. In this example here, we're just going to be looking as if we're scalping the market. So we're only going to be focusing on the 5-minute, the 1 minute, and then for those that maybe have a broker that go to 30 seconds, feel free to go down to the 30-second time frame as well. And just for additional confluence or for potential to snipe a little bit better of an entry when scalping. But back on structure, so market's going up overall is primary trend. Now there are levels in the market where price finds either resistance, where price will go up and get rejected, or price will find support where price will go down to an area and find support and bounce from that area. So we are going to, it's up to us to locate these areas on the chart, mark them up, and then we will go from there. So first things first, we all agreed that the market was overall in a uptrend. So we can draw a trend line to the upside if we would like. This way, as you can see here, the trend line, although price is going up, the trend line has acted as a support, right? Price touched here to start the trend. We retested it here. We touched the trend again here. Again here, price broke through the trend, but still pulled back and closed above it. That's very strong, right? That's a very strong indication that price is going to continue going back up. And we can see that price did actually end up continue to go back up. Again, price nearly touched the trend here. And again, this is the uptrend and it has acted as a support. So that is a good notation. If you want to take note of that, is that a trend can act as a support or resistance as well. So let's locate these areas on the chart, right, where we can see that the market has pushed up to and found resistance where it has rejected. So in this instance here, we can see, I'm just going to change the color to red. So for this instance here, we can see that the market pushed up here, got rejected, came back up here, got rejected as well. So we have our area of resistance. Now, do we have any other areas of resistance in the area or support areas that we can identify, or if there was an area that acted as a support that has now been broken. Once that support has been broken, it will act as a resistance, and vice versa. Once a resistance is broken, it shall then act as a support. And we're going to show you that here in just a moment. But first, we're going to finish marking up our support and resistances. So here we have our resistance. We're going to make this one purple here, right? Here we could see that we have price acting as a resistance here throughout here. And then once price action actually broke it here, we came back and retested this area and found support above it. So this is actually a very good area that has been broke as a resistance and now has acted as a support. So we know that this area is an area of interest as well. Do we have any other areas where price has reacted as a support? We can see that here. Oops, excuse me. We can see that through here, prices also act as a support, right? Again, it's never going to be perfect, never. So you may say, well, Chris, this area here did act as a support, but it did break through. Well, price did break through, but remember, when looking at certain areas, we have to understand what's going on here. And here we can see that actually price had broke through what we did not know was going to be a support yet, right? Because didn't really find true support until this area over here where it confirmed that it was support here. But we had the uptrend line, right? So we have a little bit of confirmations, right? We have the uptrend line here. Price pushes strong bullish up and closes the second candle, the second 5-minute candle closes back above that area of interest that we first notated. And then we could see here that once price re-broke that area, it stayed above it for the next while, right? It consolidated above it for quite some time. So 5, 10, 15. Each candle represents 5 minutes because we're on the 5-minute time frame. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. So over an hour, price consolidated, moving sideways before going up, right? And remember, the market moves up, the market moves down, and then the market consolidates. And usually the consolidation happens before or before or after a move occurs. So here we can see that price had some sideways consolidation before breaking out of this consolidation here and pushing up. And the interesting thing is, again, once this area has been broke, right? This area was acting as a resistance, a minor resistance. And once it was broke, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to act as a potential support. And that's why we see when price pulls back down into this area, what happens? We bounce from this area and push to our resistance, right? Making sense for everybody? I hope everybody's following along. There's going to be areas of interest. There's going to be supports and resistances within support and resistances. And this is a good example because we have our main support here. We also have this area that had acted as a resistance. Price finally broke that area. And then we have confirmation. Once this area is broke, right, we have confirmation on a retest. If it respects it, that area is going to be an area of potential interest. So if in the future price pulls back down into this area, we could look for potential buys because we know we have a support there. But what else do we have there? We have the trend line. So we have a little bit of confluence here, right? That's what we call confluence. So if price were to just rapidly push down in this area here, right here we have what we have confluence. We have an area of multiple indications suggesting that price can react from there. What do we have? We have the uptrend line, and then we have the break of resistance, now flip back support. So we have double support here. So this area will be stronger than typical areas. So it's an area to look out for in the potential future when price comes back to that area. So you can set your alert, go on about your day, do what you do. So we have our resistance, we have our support turn resistance here, we have a support area here. Then here, we can see here, we have our resistance, price broke here, and then this has acted as a support. So this is going to be our support, our lower support. You could even go, if you went lower, you could go down here and locate your support here as well. Just change up the colors. Feel free to make it your own. I use blue, purple, and red. Blue for support, purple for support turned resistance, or vice versa, and then red for resistance. But use whatever you're familiar with, whatever you're going to know what it means, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody else sees when they look at your chart, as long as you understand what you're looking for and what you're looking at and what it means to do, right? So, quick recap. Market moves three ways: up, down, and sideways. During uptrends, when market is moving in an upward direction, you're more than likely going to be looking for buying opportunities. When the market is moving in a downtrend, you're going to be more than likely looking for selling opportunities. There are traders that trade against a trend. Now, it's more dangerous to trade against a trend, but if you're more advanced and you know what you're doing, feel free to trade against a trend correctly. Always remember, guys, trading is about proper risk management. If you truly can honestly grasp and get a hold of risk management, it'll change your life and change your situation. So work on, discipline within your mindset. Focus on the little things because all these little consistencies over time are going to add up and be huge. So with that said, Fast Money Futures going to be signing out. Quick recap: we have a uptrends, like I said, price moving up; downtrends, price moving down; consolidation, we can see here, price move sideways. Now, also remember, like I said to you, that within consolidations, you can also have consolidation. So if somebody were to say that this was the consolidating area here, we do have resistance up here, we do have a support area here. If price were to come back down here, it'd be interesting to see how it reacts. Because we don't really have confirmation of multiple supports here. We only have one touch. So we don't really have enough to say that price is really consolidating here. But like over here, we can see that price did consolidate within a resistance area here and a support area here before breaking out. Now, if you see when price breaks out of these areas, when price when price respects after it breaks out and then it respects that area and doesn't come back within that area, there's a very good probability that price is going to move away from that area, like it did here. It pushed up, it moved away from that area. Again, here, price tricked you. Had broke out of this little consolidation that was here, broke down immediately. How do you know when it came back if it retests? So if price would have pushed up and it rejected, and then it starts, for example, use your imagination here, say this candle is red and bearish, well, then it rejected that area, which would mean you were looking for sells. But clearly we can see that price after it broke down, it immediately pulled back and closed back within that area of interest, and then we found support there again. So that was a very good indication that price was going to push up and away, but that was not the buy. The buy is when price breaks out of that consolidation and then retest it, right? So price breaks out of this consolidation here, it pushes up. You may have thought you missed the move, but in reality, guess what? You didn't, because we have a retest of the breakout. It occurred here, the retest occurred here. This is where you enter, and then price pushes up and you get out at the next resistance, right? All you're taking your trades from, you're just taking your trades from resistance to support, support to resistance, and just follow that method until you become more advanced and you find higher time frame areas of interest where you could target on a lower time frame. But that will be for another video, another session, another day. But guys, I greatly appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now, everybody.